Welcome back to the Forge for another Rusty production. Today we're going to make a bracelet. So lately I've been making a whole bunch of sort of industrial things, like whether it be the tongs here for the blade tongs, or whether it be chain that I'm forge welding. And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe for more of those sort of videos. But today I want to actually make something different. Today I want to make something just a little bit decorative. So I'm going to try and make a bracelet just out of this sort of 4mm stock. I'm going to have to thin it out quite a bit. What I'm looking to do is, I won't draw a picture, but basically I want it to be flat, rounded at the ends, and I'm going to use the peen of the hammer to actually give it a nice texture, and then I'll bend it around, and ideally it's for my wife. So I've just got to make sure that the wrist, which is not quite as thick as this wrist, is the right size for her. So I'm going to do that, then I'll finish it off with a bit of a brushing, and then probably a bit of a linseed oil finish. So that's what I'm going to attempt today. Let's get started. A quick update from last week's forge welding. You can see there that it's just eaten, or basically melted. There's the actual steel. It's melted that right up, and you can see that this is not ideal for forge welding. I've been told to put some fire bricks in there, so I'm going to have to look at ways that I can do that. And I might even just be able to build up the sides instead of using these wings with fire bricks. But we will come back to that at some other point. And I don't know what I'm going to keep that for, but maybe for smelting into something later down the track. And try and do here is thin this out without giving it too much width. We'll probably use a bit there. About half this thickness, so it's not quite there yet, but it's going to take a few heats and I'll get it to the right thickness. So that's just about the right thickness there. I'm just going to measure out how long I need the actual bracelet to be. I'll just get a piece of paper and do that in just a moment. So just take a little piece of paper, score it down here, rip it off. So I'll just mark on my wrist. I want it to come to about there. I want it to come to about there. So on my wrist, that's about the piece. But what I want to do is remove about an inch for her wrist. So probably talking about there. That's about the length that I want it. What I might quickly do is just measure up and mark the anvil approximately where I want it to be. Then I can work out where I'm going to cut it. So I'm just going to use my chisel to sort of roughly mark out where I want it to be. We're looking at about there. I'm just going to score this. I'm not going to cut through. Just going to score it so I know where I'm going to be working to. I don't want to cut it off just yet because I want to still use this handle, but I'm just going to round out some of this edge, see how round I can get without filing, and try and get a consistent thickness right through that space. no hurry, so I'll just take my time with that. So in getting that thickness about right the way through, what we've done is we've actually gained probably about 6 or 7 mils. So that was a really good process to actually score it where I did. So I'm just going to rescore it now that we've got it exactly the right width all the way through, and that can be the start of where we cut. I'm going to cut through this metal, and I seem to find that the chisel rather than the hardy tool is a little bit cleaner. I'm just going to put a bit of metal down so I don't hurt my handle. Alright, so there's our piece. It's a relatively clean cut. Now we'll just clean up that edge, get it on the heat, and then look at what we're going to do to finish it. The scale on the hand. I'll just take a couple of heats to do this, just so I can keep it as clean as possible. So I think that's going to be the inside as far as like what's going to be on the wrist, and that's going to be the outside. I guess what I've got to do next is give it its texture. So I might just try beveling in some of these edges just a little bit, and then give the texture after that. So I'll just heat it right up, and then we will start making it decorative rather than just looking like a paddle pop stick. Right, now I'm just going to heat up this side. I'm going to put my touch mark into it and then see if I can keep that when I start using the paint on this side. So fingers crossed on that, because I'm not sure I'm going to be able to accomplish it. So we'll see. This is all experimental anyway. Touch mark. I'm going to end up doing half of this at a time. Wow. You actually get, like, it's starting to get the effect, but I'm going to actually have to get that hotter. using the wood so that I don't disrupt as much of that pattern as possible. But I'm going to have to get it to go a little bit more round for a wrist. So cross my fingers, wish me luck. Let's see how we go. About where I want it. Bit of scale, just landed right on my fingertip. Alright, that's not quite right. I've got to get those to go in that way a little bit more. There, it's just not quite straight, and see those things aren't quite lining up where they need to. And I think I can just round it out just a little bit more, but I'll do that on the wood by hitting it here. Clearly going to have to do a little bit of fiddling with this, so I'll come back to you when I've actually got it in alignment. Alright, so I'm just going to finish this off a bit. Try and burn, oh Jesus. Try and hold on to it. Get rid of some of the scale without losing too much of the texture. Kind of burnish it. Then I'll try it on a wrist and then make sure it fits. And then I'll finish it off with the oil. So those who haven't done any burnishing before, it's basically just letting it cool as you're continuing to brush scale off. So you're not letting any scale form. And it gives it kind of a shiny finish as well. Alright, so I'll leave that for now. I'll measure it up, make sure it's going to fit, and then we'll come back and finish. Okay, so she's pretty happy with it. It's just, if you can see, I'll see if I can get it against some white there. It's kind of more oval shaped, and what I need to do is reduce it about that much here to actually make it a little bit more of a circular shape. And then it's going to fit just about right. So I'll heat the forge back up, give it a bit of a squish, and then we'll be just about done. Going to use this this round edge just to give it a little bit more of a curve. Getting there. I reckon that's pretty close. Alright, so I've got most of the scale off. I'm now just going to put some linseed oil on top. I'm not sure that that's how I'm going to finish it, but I'll at least start the curing process, and I can look at if I'm going to put wax or something in the oven after that. Tiny little bits of smoke coming up off that, which is what we're after. We do want it to cook on there. Be a little bit careful because it is hot. I'll just keep the burnishing process going as it's cooling down. Give it a bit of a shine. My understanding is that you can do this with all sorts of different types of metal brushes and they'll give you a different finish. But for the moment, I'm just going to finish this with the wire brush and the steel wire brush and a bit of a cloth sheen. Okay, so there you go. We have one completed bracelet with a sort of a dimpled finish that goes all the way around there. I will be putting it in the oven, giving it a final once over with the linseed oil, and we'll bake that on over the course of about 2 hours. But it does fit. It does completely fit her wrist perfectly, and she's happy with it. So, job done. If you liked what you saw here today, that is brilliant. If you didn't like what you saw, that's unfortunate. But if you did like it, give us a like. If you've got any comments on this bracelet, on things I could be doing better, there are a whole bunch of different ways that I could be cleaning this up or doing a better job, I'm sure, including making the dimples more pronounced than they actually are. Be interested to know how I can go about doing that with some sort of control. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We have more videos coming out every single week, and you can hit the notification bell and it will let you know when one of those is released. Until next time, thanks so much for watching.